I've been playing on my hardcore world for quite some time now, and if you're like me and just love building in Minecraft, come along for this journey as we terraform land, gather resources, build a brand new farmstead for all of my animals, and add some new lore to my world. Let's remove this old pen, and after that I can start terraforming the land around here. So yeah, let's get started. I'm not gonna lie, this original pen was very sad for my animals. They're finally getting an upgrade. This area had a few holes I needed to patch. As well, I needed to terraform to actually make enough space for my build, so I spent some time clearing all this dirt. I needed to plan how much space I was actually going to use, and yeah, I pretty much just spammed dirt blocks to fill in all this empty space here. This took a little bit of time, but you know, it's kind of fun. I did end up expanding pretty far out towards my sugarcane farm. With that complete, we now have suitable land for our build. We have a lot more space here set for our barn. What I'm gonna do now is start working on my outline. And these are gonna be the doors, these kind of acting as the frame. It's gonna be cool. Something that I don't have is mangrove wood. I think it would look so cool. I believe it's somewhere over here. It's pretty far if I remember. Let's go over there and farm up a ton of wood. Let's collect a bunch of this. There we go. That took a really long time. While I was here, I figured I'd grab some mud blocks, you know, for anything mud related in the future. Alright, time for the long journey back. And we can start working on the outside walls. I'm gonna start doing that now. Now that I had my mangrove wood, I started working on the main building, which if you cannot guess is going to be a barn. Moving on to the right side over here, I textured in the logs. I tried to make it like make sense, and I made sure to strip the logs. It makes the red color look really nice. And over on the left side, I pretty much just copied exactly what I did. This side is slightly different. It kind of goes out a bit further. You'll see later on. I felt an outdoor horse stable would be a really cool addition to the side of the barn. I made sure to add a trough in the middle so they have some water. This is where some outdoor horses are going to go. I put some coarse dirt just to, plan our entrances, but anyways, I wanted to mix in some quartz with my roof. We can take a few blocks of these just so we don't run out. So I ran down into my cave system because I actually will need some deep slate for this. Diamonds, don't mind if I do. I collected it in a circle. I don't know if you can tell. I think it looks cool. This should be more than enough. Now I can get out of here. If I finish crafting up a bunch of things I will need for the roof, I'm gonna get started on working on that. This was a bit of a challenge. Doing a roof like this is always kind of hard to figure out when you first start out, but I started to get the hang of it, and I made sure to add a window in the direct center. Since I already had my outline for my roof, this part was actually pretty easy. I spent some time filling in all the deep slate that I had just collected. As well, I made some deep slate bricks to texture in the roof. Definitely makes the roof look a little bit better. I finished up the top as well as I moved on to the other side and got that finished up as well. I kind of was skeptical of using quartz. The diorite and quartz actually turned out pretty nice. I think it really brings out the white quite nicely. And of course, I have to finish this side as well. Moving back to the front, it is time to start adding some little details. I added some lanterns, some signs, and down here at the front, I added a bit of a water trough. And as well, if we go to the back side, I made sure to copy the exact same thing. I actually want to cover up these windows. I'm gonna put 9 trapdoors like this. Nice, I like that so much. I put a little pile of hay here. I think it's kind of cool. Okay, very nice. Don't worry, we will be working on our interior very soon. But before that, I want to start planning the outline and working on the second smaller build over here. I do have to go gather some resources for that. I will need a fair bit of clay for our bricks. So I'm gonna gather up everything that I can find. This may or may not be enough clay. There's only one way to find out. Let's go cook it up. Nice, there we go. While that cooks up, off to the mines to get some granite. Boom, granite acquired. Boom, nice. Okay, we got some bricks. I'm gonna get started and start building this. Let's just see what we can do. Since my silo is paired with my barn, I decided to go with a red look once again, using bricks and granite. I also added these white beams going up. They're supposed to be like a way to transport the grain quickly. I made the silo big enough to hold enough feed for an entire winter season. I wasn't really too sure what to do the roof out of. I looked up some photos of silos and they all had like silver roofs, so I went with white. With that being complete, we are now finished our silo. It turned out pretty cool. This is our general silo. The tubes that go down into the ground. I think it's pretty cool. Let's start working on this interior. I removed the floor and I'm gonna replace it with coarse dirt. The animals are like on rough dirt. very nice. I kind of have an idea of how I want to do my interior. I'm not the greatest interior designer, but I'm learning, so bear with me here. Then we can strip these and we can put our stairs. Okay, I see the vision. So I want to do these fences, and then we can put the animals in here, and we'll have one more on the other side as well. Oh, don't blow up my barn, please. Okay, I like that. That's a nice touch. Of course, we have to put hay in our barn. We'll do something just like that. I feel like right here is the perfect spot to put a ladder to the second floor. Every barn kind of needs some sort of attic. I thought these chains would look cool up here as well. Yeah, I like that. Kind of like a water feeder or whatever, one you flip on. It's kind of cool, I like it. Our first floor is looking quite nice. I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out so far. Time to tackle the upper floor. Some more storage, some wooden beams up top. Let's figure something out. I added these wooden support beams and these chains. I'm gonna work on a few other decorations up here now. I will see you when I am finished with that. If we come upstairs, it is looking a lot better. I added some storage chests here, some hay, of course some barrels. It's looking quite nice. And of course some pots. I flew over to the spruce biome to grab some podzil for texturing later on. Let's grab up a good amount of this stuff. I wanted to say shout out to KZUtrack for suggesting using podzil. It definitely makes everything look a lot better. I spent some time texturing it in with some coarse dirt to really blend in the ground, as well as bone mealing around, and I don't really like the taller shrubs. I like to leave a lot more of the smaller ones. I want to build some custom trees, so I'm gonna need a bit more leaves. What? This has got to be bugged, right? If someone can explain it, I think it's bugged. I spent a lot of time looking for these, but I found them. I need to terraform a bit of the land and kind of plan where I want my trees. I think I'm gonna put one right here. I had thought I had done enough terraforming to fit everything that I wanted to build, but I ended up expanding a bit of the side for a tree. I really wanted to build more of a unique style of tree. I made sure to add some branches sticking out on either side, you know, kind of like what a real tree has. Near the top, considering it was a bit taller, I used mud bricks for a thinner style of branch, as well as my flowering azalea. This is definitely the coolest tree I've built so far. I'm getting better at building trees, so yeah, I think it turned out quite awesome. I wanted the base of this tree to look a little bit better. I added some podzil and some coarse dirt. Let's do tree number 2. For my second tree, I thought maybe I should go a bit simpler, so I came up with this really basic design. The vision I am going with these trees using the flowering azalea would have to be an orchard tree that might, you know, drop fruit. And down by the base of the tree, I added in some more podzil and coarse dirt, as well as some shrubbery. Near the back side of the barn, we are building our final third tree. With this one specifically, I wanted to add even more branches, so I added 3 going out in different directions, scattering in the azalea leaves, and down at the bottom, repeating the same kind of texturing. We finished our third tree as well as our second tree that we did build. I think they just look so cool. Oh my god, I love this one. We have to get this for us for the new stables. His colors are so cool. Leave a comment and I will name him whatever you guys comment. Yay, best friends. And of course, diamond horse armor. He's looking fresh. This one is so cool. He's looking just as fresh. Let's bring him back to his new home. We now have 2 new additions to the family. I'm gonna start working on populating a bit of this farm with our animals, like make it look cool. And with our animals in the barn, we are now complete. We have our horses, our silo, a few custom trees, and if we come inside here, we have our sheep, some chickens, cows in the middle, and then you can come upstairs. There's a whole storage room here. I think it turned out amazing. I really hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you made it this far, consider subscribing. More videos to come. Bye! I also plan on streaming on Twitch. Follow me here. It'll be the top link in the description. Help me reach 10 followers. Thank you. Goodbye.